Tippy-Toppy Tower, The Great Apple Adventure. This amazing story happened on one small farm. Everyone in the area knew this farm because its big, bright red barn could be seen from afar. In the garden, a bounty of delicious vegetables grew in abundance. Bright orange pumpkins sat plump in the field. Rows of shiny red tomatoes hung from vines. And deep purple eggplants nestled snugly among big green leaves. Corn stalks swayed gently in the breeze, their golden tassels dancing. Heads of crisp green cabbage stood proudly in neat rows. Not far from the garden, in a sunny clearing between the grass and the bushes, lived a curious little rabbit. One morning, as the golden sun spread its warm light across the farm, the little rabbit hopped out of his cozy spot in the bushes. He twitched his nose and sniffed the air. What's that wonderful smell? He wondered. His eyes darted around at all the tasty vegetables and berries. But then his gaze landed on the apple tree standing proudly by the barn. His eyes sparkled as he spotted the shiny red round fruits hanging high in the tree. His tummy rumbled with excitement. "An apple!" he exclaimed. "That's what I want!" The rabbit's eyes sparkled as he hopped eagerly toward the tree. He wiggled his nose, looked up, and took a deep breath. "All right, here I go." He bent his knees and boing, boing, he jumped as high as he could. But no matter how hard he tried, the apples were too high. With a little thump, he landed back on the ground and frowned. "I need help. It's too high," he thought. His ears perked up as he tried to come up with a solution. "Who is the biggest, tallest animal I know? The donkey. Maybe he can help." Determined, the rabbit hopped toward the donkey's field, where the donkey stood lazily, swishing his tail beside a haystack. "Good morning, donkey," said the rabbit. "Good morning, rabbit," said the donkey. "What's on your mind?" The rabbit pointed his paw toward the apple tree. "Do you see those apples? I really want one, but I can't reach them. You're big and tall. Maybe you can." The donkey flicked his ears and nodded. Let's give it a try." Together, they walked over to the apple tree. The donkey stretched his long neck, squinted up at the apples, and reached as high as he could. But even he couldn't touch them. He flicked his tail in frustration. "They're just too high." The rabbit's nose twitched in disappointment. "If even the donkey can't reach them, what should we do?" he thought. He sighed and stared up at the tree. Then, suddenly his ears perked up with excitement. "Wait a minute," he thought. "The cockerel has wings. I see him every morning flying up to the top of the tall white fence. If anyone can reach those apples, it's him." Eagerly, the rabbit turned to the donkey. "Let's ask the cockerel. He's great at flying high." The donkey nodded. "That's a great idea." So, they trotted over to the barn, where a proud little cockerel sat perched on the white fence, basking in the morning sun. "What's all the fuss about?" asked the cockerel, tilting his head. "We want to pick an apple, but they're too high," said the rabbit. The cockerel puffed out his chest and flapped his wings. Too high? Ha! You've come to the right one. I have wings. I can reach them. Watch me. With a determined squawk, the cockerel flapped his wings and soared toward the apples. But, whoosh! He flew up a little, then gently landed back on the ground, shaking out his feathers. What a pity. I guess I can't fly that high, he said, a bit embarrassed but still smiling. The three friends gathered around and thought hard. I can jump, but not so high, said the rabbit, twitching his nose. I'm very big, but not so high, said the donkey, shaking his mane. I have wings, but I can't fly up so high, said the cockerel, puffing out his chest. They all sighed, realizing that on their own, they couldn't reach the apples. What a pity. Looks like we won't be able to enjoy those delicious apples, the rabbit said with a sigh. Then, suddenly, the rabbit's eyes lit up. A brilliant idea popped into his head. What if I climb onto Donkey's back? Said the rabbit, feeling both nervous and excited. The donkey smiled down at the rabbit. Okay, little friend, climb up. With a little giggle, the rabbit hopped onto the donkey's back. Woo! You're taller than I thought! The donkey chuckled. I may be tall, but I'm not exactly a perfect ladder. Hold still, giggled the rabbit as he tried to balance himself, wobbling slightly. Okay, now I can stretch. The rabbit stretched as high as he could, but the apples were still just out of reach. Okay, it's still too high, said the rabbit. Maybe it's your turn, cockerel. The cockerel puffed out his chest again. I'll show you how it's done. With a flap of his wings, the cockerel hopped onto the rabbit's back, landing with a little thud. Oops, sorry, rabbit. The rabbit wiggled, trying to stay steady. Careful, cockerel, you're a little wobbly up here. The donkey chuckled from below. I think we're building a tower. The cockerel flapped his wings and grinned. It's a tower of teamwork. He reached out his beak, peck, peck, and with one final tap, plop, an apple fell from the tree and landed softly on the grass below. One for Donkey, said the cockerel proudly. Then he pecked again. Plop. One for Rabbit, he said. Finally, he gave one last peck. Plop. And one for me, he cheered. Hooray! We did it! Cheered the rabbit, the cockerel, and the donkey. They each took a big, juicy bite of their apples and smiled with delight. The rabbit bit into his apple with a crisp crunch. So sweet. The donkey took a big bite, his ears wiggling with happiness. Delicious. The cockerel pecked at his apple, making a contented cluck. I knew I could do it. The three friends laughed together, savoring every bite. The donkey smiled. You know, sometimes we can't do things alone, but when we help each other, anything is possible. The rabbit and the cockerel nodded happily as they munched on their apples. That day, they learned a special lesson. Teamwork makes even the tallest trees feel a little shorter. And so, under the warm sun and a sky full of fluffy clouds, the three friends laughed, played, and dreamed of their next big adventure. The end. Great job, little explorers. You did an amazing job following the story. Now, let's see how well you remember it. Ready? Here we go. 1. Where did the little rabbit live on the farm? Was it in the garden, in the bushes, or in the barn? Yeah, right, in the bushes. You got it. That's where our little friend woke up. 2. What did the rabbit smell when he woke up? Was it the flowers, the apples, or the pumpkins? Ooh, yes, The apples! That sweet, juicy smell made his tummy rumble. 3. What fruit did the rabbit want to pick? Was it an apple, a cabbage, or a tomato? Yes, apples. Not cabbage, not tomatoes. Our bunny had apples on his mind. 4. Who did the rabbit think might be able to help him pick the apples? Was it the cow, or the donkey,
Who did the rabbit
or the
think
horse?
might
Be able to help him pick the apples. Was it the cow, the donkey, or the horse? Ding, ding, ding. The donkey. He's big, strong, but could he reach the apples? 5. Who did the rabbit ask for help first? Was it the horse, the donkey, or the cockerel? Yup, the donkey. But oh no, he couldn't jump. What now? 6. What part of the farm did the cockerel like to fly to? Was it the barn, the fence, or the apple tree? Yes, 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 the fence. He loved to perch up high and see the whole farm. 7. How did the cockerel try to get the apples? Did he flap his wings, jump, or climb the tree? Flapping his wings, exactly. He gave it his best shot, but nope, no apples yet. 8. How many apples did the animals get from the tree? Did they get 1, 2, or 3 apples? 3. That's right. And oh, they looked so delicious. Apples, apples, apples. Number 9. What did the animals do to reach the apples in the end? Did they build a tower, climb a tree, or wait for the apples to fall? Yes, they built a tower. Smart thinking. And up, up, up they went. Number 10. What lesson did the friends learn in the end? Was it that teamwork makes everything easier? That apples grow on trees? Or that rabbits are the best jumpers? Boom! That's right. Teamwork makes everything easier. Wow! You are amazing. Give yourself a big round of applause. Clap, clap. Keep exploring, keep learning, and get ready for the next adventure. Rock it,